What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Darius TV. I'm back with another review, and this one is of City on a Hill, Season 3, Episode 7 Boston Bridges Falling Down. If you like this video, you already know, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. You already know. So let's start with this review. So basically, this episode starts with Doyle and Jenny. They're, knocking boots from what happened in the previous episode. And, she seems to be obviously really falling for Doyle, and the relationship seems to be really developing in this episode, you know. Jackie, she, next morning, Doyle ends up making her breakfast in bed, and she recalls that, Jackie never did that for her. And after all the years that they've been married, and then Jenny ends up going to the hospital to, I believe, pick Jackie up or something like that, or drop off something, I believe. And she's definitely very different towards Jackie since she basically got with somebody else. She's obviously over Jackie, but we know deep down that she's not completely over Jackie yet. But it definitely feels like she's getting close to it. Um, then also we see that in this episode, Chris is having some issues with his son. He picks his son up from a police station from getting drunk and fighting, and it seems like Chris's family basically is falling apart after he broke up with his wife. So he's got that issues going on. Jackie ends up meeting Milani. He ends up just doing some weird serial killer stuff, popping up in the back seat of his car. You know what I'm saying? So we can get some help on finding out who shot him, and put him in the hospital. There's one line in this episode that's a bar that I really like, where Milani tells Jackie, "You're not my mentor, you're my tormentor." Tormentor. I like that line. I thought that was pretty dope. Jackie has Milani take him to the people who shot him, basically, so they can do some more exploring to figure out who are these people that did this. And Jackie ends up going to this veterinarian spot, and this veterinarian basically helped patch up the guy that shot him. And the guy is trying to avoid answering Jackie, and then Jackie just basically stabs him with a syringe in the hand to get him to talk, basically. So Jackie is really showing more of his corrupt police side, even though technically he's not a cop no more. But yeah, so that happened. Jenny tells Doyle she wants to meet her brother. She tells him about that, wanting to meet her brother and stuff like that, and she wants him to come also. So there's that. Um, then Guy doesn't seem to want DeCourcy to look into Sinclair because clearly he got some type of business going on with Sinclair, so he doesn't want him to look into it too much. But he ends up deciding to let DeCourcy explore Sinclair more. Even though he got some type of business going on with this man, to basically help each other out. Guy's going to help. Sinclair's going to help Guy with his, I think it was some political stuff from they had a few episodes ago. But basically, they're working together. So it's clearly not something that Guy would want. But he seems to be fine with DeCourcy looking into him. Jackie finds the guy who shot him finally. Some young dude. He finds him coming out of I think it was a donut shop or something like that, and push his face up against the glass, all of the stuff like that. So finds who that guy is that shot him. Doyle lets Jenny meet her half brother alone. He doesn't seem to want to get involved. Wants her to do it herself, and goes to talk to the man who's going to help her find who her brother is, her half brother. And yeah, so she goes to seek help on that with some guy at some, I forgot the place, but some guy, I don't know, he's not I think he's an investigator. Some guy, I forgot who he was though, but she goes to him so she can find more information on her brother. So DeCourcy helps Saban with O'Dow, I think the character's name was, in that whole situation, helping her with her. He's helping his wife with her case. So then Milani investigates the kid who shot Jackie to see who hired him, and we end up finding out that it was a priest that did it, and ends up being Doyle. That was a turn of events that I did not see happening. It kind of shocked me the same way how earlier in this season, when the one cop that accidentally shot the other guy ended up dying, and he was making Chris's life hell, just harassing him and stuff like that. I wasn't expecting for him to die, and I also was not expecting Doyle to be the one that hired these guys to wound Jackie. That caught me completely off guard. I did not see that coming at all. crazy turn of events, but it did kind of play out slightly melodramatic. It wasn't really that. It was shocking, but the scene cuts right to Jackie basically enjoying seeing Dewey get arrested. Then, Jenny just doesn't believe it. She doesn't want to accept it at all because she's starting to catch feelings for Doyle. And Jenny says she won't come home, and then Jackie's like he doesn't believe that, which is true. She actually ends up coming home later on in this episode. It was also ironic because early in the episode she did say to Jackie in the hospital that she always finds some way to come back to him and stuff like that. So yeah, that this episode really I like the relationship that Jackie and Jenny has in this episode. Them going back and forth fighting over Doyle. I like that. It really shows their relationship really developing. You know what I'm saying? So the Russian woman who's going to testify against Sinclair decides to drop out. So that's a completely monkey wrench thrown into their plan of stopping Sinclair. Um, Jackie asks this woman named Mrs. Murphy about Sinclair to do some investigating, but he basically doesn't get too far. I believe the woman was actually really on good terms with Sinclair, so that doesn't help. So that is. Saban gets confronted by the muscle guy again, the guy that's the muscle from a few episodes ago. I get a strong feeling. My theory is that Sinclair might not Sinclair, Saban might possibly Siobhan might end up dying in the season finale. I think, or maybe might get, but I don't know. She already got wounded last season, so I get a strong feeling her character might possibly die during this case. Maybe I don't know. The way things are going, I got a strong feeling that she might die. Because in most TV shows, when a character is going through a lot of stress and stuff like that, they always end up killing the character off. So I get a strong feeling she might possibly die. Maybe in the next episode, the season finale. I don't know. My predictions. I hope she doesn't, but I get a strong feeling she might. I also like how Chris is like the referee between DeCourcy and Jackie in their scene where they're getting into some argument and stuff like that about how they handle justice and how innocent people are affected by it. I like that Chris sort of plays like the referee between the two. I like that scene. DeCourcy finds out Sinclair got some type of help from a former friend when it came down to the Russian woman not testifying. So that's another turn of events that I didn't see happening in this episode. DeCourcy, Jackie ends up confronting Willie, the guy that basically helped Sinclair out with preventing the Russian woman from testifying, and he confronts Willie about the deal he did with Sinclair. Jackie talks about the corruption that both Willie and Jackie. Jackie ends up talking to Willie about the corruption that they both partook in and stuff like that. They both were into. But Willie decides that he will not tell whatever he did to the Russian witness and says that he basically is on Sinclair's side. Sinclair and Willie, they end up having a scene where they're talking about how close Jackie is to basically throwing him into prison, basically, and getting close in his investigation to the point where Sinclair ends up just smacking Willie, like just treating him like a typical villain treats a henchman, just takes his anger out on him and slaps him, like. So Jackie ends up finally being able to get Willie to talk to the Corsi from some transcript that he was able to have. So he finally was able to get Willie to turn on Sinclair. And then Saban ends up basically having a scene where she's going to a parking garage. She's just completely on edge. This season been really driving her mental state down the drain. Well, everything's been going on from the accident her friend had years ago that paralyzed the man, and she's really going through all kinds of stuff in this season. And she ends up getting paranoid when she thinks somebody is walking behind her in the parking garage. So, yeah, I feel sorry for Saban. Jack Wins also find out that Jackie ends up putting a camera in Sinclair's house and tells Sinclair that Willie will go on stand. So, Jackie is drawing the battle line, showing that basically he's going against Sinclair, that he's not willing to work under Sinclair anymore. Jackie ends up giving up the car back to him and says that he can't be bought. He's completely decided that he does not want to no longer work for Sinclair anymore. All the sick things that he's been doing, drugging women. He's like, yo, this is it. So then we have a scene where Chris's son is sort of brought in again. It seemed like he's almost got like arrested again, but in this time he ends up meeting DeCourcy. DeCourcy tells him about how good Chris is and stuff like that. I guess DeCourcy wants to help his friend out with, his friend Chris becoming closer again with his son. And then the scene ends with the son basically telling that he can see why Chris likes DeCourcy because he's good at BSing. You can definitely tell that DeCourcy is the hero of the show, the one of the main like the Superman, the noble guy of the show. He completely noble, good marriage to his wife, overall good cop, no type of corruption in him. So, I like that sort of scene that they had. I thought it was kind of funny. Jenny argues with Jackie over Doyle in the house. She still does not believe that Doyle sent the hit out on Jackie. She refused to believe it. So they're still arguing over Doyle. Saban tells her therapist, there's a scene she has with her therapist where she's, just feels like she's going mad, like an old lady, in her old neighborhood. And she has a scene, she says something that really stuck with me. She says she's worried about how her husband would feel if she was to die, over this case. So I never thought about that. That was a pretty interesting line for her to say that. I personally, like I said, my only real theory I have for the season finale is that she probably might die. Somewhere I do have a feeling Saban's gonna die. I hope she doesn't, because I know that will completely destroy DeCourcy, but I get a strong feeling she might die or at least get hurt. But then again, like I said, she already got hurt in last season, so I don't know. In my opinion, she might possibly get maybe die. I think that's my opinion. She might die, maybe in the season finale. Then Jenny ends up deciding to visit Doyle in jail, and he says that he did it. He sent the hit out on Jackie, and Jenny finds out also that he is a part of the IRA. So a whole bunch of stuff. She just straight up honest with her. Kind of the opposite of Jackie. Jackie isn't honest with her, but Doyle completely is. And honestly, this scene almost was like a mini breakup. Like he's gonna be in jail for basically almost trying to kill an ex cop, and so this seems like this is like almost like a breakup for them. Almost, he's in jail and he's telling her that she should travel and go to Paris and stuff like that, or he's sort of still saying that they should be together, but this feels like a basically a breakup. So I guess that's over for Doyle and Jenny. Chris takes his son to play hockey, and they seem to be getting closer together after he had a talk with DeCourcy. So there's that. Not much else to say. Saban takes an NDA. It seemed like they sort of talking over the Mendoza case. They were talking so fast, I was barely able to understand what was going on. But it seems like Saban was. She decides to take an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, over the Mendoza case. They were able to reach, I guess, a $9 million settlement. I guess, and Saban wants to find some type of legal loophole. She's not satisfied with the NDA, and that's all I got from that scene. I'm guessing she won her case with the Mendoza case. I guess I'm not really sure. They were talking so fast, I barely understood what was going on. So if anybody can explain that to me, please comment below. So Jenny finds out her brother is bipolar. He's a 60-year-old bipolar man, and that their mom put him in there, put him in a mental institution. So that's it's that. I don't know much to say about that. Yeah. So, also in this episode, we see that Chris is still messing with some hookers. Basically, he's still messing with them, and yeah, after the last one, didn't really do well by him. Left him with a little something something. So he's still messing with them. Yeah. So it's kind of odd because he's a cop, so he's kind of doing something illegal, but I guess that's what he's doing for now until he ends up either hooking back up with his wife or maybe meet a new love interest. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but all right. So Jackie tells Latia, I hope I pronounced that name right because I can't pronounce it right for nothing in the world. Tells Latia that he is coming for Sinclair. Latia suggested basically Jackie turn Sinclair in and marry her, which sounds kind of crazy because it sounds like she would just do the same thing to Jackie in the future with a new man. So if she's going to do that to her own husband, Now Jackie, after seeing how they get down, he just basically wants to go back with his wife and completely forget about the Dradens, and he don't want to have nothing to do with this weird family. And she says that they will come for him, and he's like, well, all right. So yeah, so there wasn't a whole lot of build up between Jackie and the Dradens. It seemed like he just saw that they got a lot of weird stuff going on. Sinclair drugging women. He's having sex with Tia. That's about it. It seemed like I feel like they wish they could have had more of a bigger build up, for him taking down the Dradens. It just seemed like he suddenly draw the battle lines in this episode, and that's about it. I feel like it was more. I wish it could have been more of a build up, more tension building up throughout the season for when he takes down the Dradens. My personal opinion. And then this episode ends with another cliffhanger where Sinclair comes to basically the police station and meets with Guy, and of course he walks in and sees this. So now Sinclair is coming home, coming to their base now. And I don't really know any. I don't know any predictions I can say about that. But he's really stepping into the lion's den. He's actually meeting up with the people that want to take him down. So that's kind of crazy. This episode was really good. A whole lot of twists and turns I didn't see coming. Everything from Doyle to Sinclair coming to the station. A lot went on. I cannot wait to watch the season finale. This season's been really good. Been much more easier to understand compared to the first two seasons, I think. And yeah, I hope this isn't the last season. I was hearing rumors that this third season is gonna be the final one. I hope not. This show is really good. I can't wait to see what the next episode is gonna bring. Like I said, my only prediction is I've got a strong feeling that Savon might possibly die. But other than that, good episode. I'm about to do a review of the next episode coming up. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I have more content obviously coming if they have a new season of City on a Hill. And thanks for watching my video. If you want to know anything more about City on a Hill, all things, subscribe to Watch Darius TV. And thanks, guys.